Believe it or not, this is a black man in whiteface at a NASCAR event. A comedian named Druski who looks like this without all the makeup. And this is actually far beyond whiteface. Whoever did this makeup deserves an Oscar for such an incredible transformation. And this skit that he did went mega viral this week because not only of the amazing transformation, but his imitation of the quintessential, stereotypical, Southern hick, quote, racist NASCAR fan. Black comedians doing skits dressed as white people or in whiteface has been a hilarious bit that people of all races have enjoyed for at least 40 years, dating back to when Eddie Murphy used to play a white guy on Saturday Night Live in sketches. In like the film White Chicks, starring the Wayans brothers, back over 20 years ago now, in 2004. Not to mention Dave Chappelle portraying one back when he had his show on Comedy Central. At one point, Druski came across a black man at the NASCAR event and was a little racist towards him.
Hey, you lost, boy?
No, I'm going to the race.
What race?
NASCAR race.
You going to NASCAR?
Yes, sir. A little bit.
Oh, he just spit some chewing tobacco out of the ground right by him. And at one point, in the not-so-distant past, here in the United States of America, all races also enjoyed comedians, white comedians, performing in blackface. Like when Jimmy Kimmel did this hilarious bit dressed up as Karl Malone. And Jimmy Fallon, back when he worked on Saturday Night Live, doing an incredible impersonation of Chris Rock.
Rock, now we're talking. Where is he? Man, oh man, read this book. I've seen Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and guess what? Not a lot of black folks on the show.
Right.
Not a lot of black folks on the show. You know why? Because black folks don't like to answer questions.
I think the reason why there's static in there is the original person who posted this kept getting it taken down for copyright detection, and so they threw that in there to kind of confuse the system a little bit, the content ID fingerprinting.
Well, they want to be millionaires, but you got to ask that kind of questions like, in 1981...
But you get the point. This was absolutely hilarious, and at the time, there were zero people, even zero black people, who were offended by it. The list goes on, from Sarah Silverman, best known, only known for being Jimmy Kimmel's ex-girlfriend, to Howard Stern, Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places. There was a skit in The Golden Girls back in the 1980s where the two girls come in wearing mud facial masks, and it was a riff off of blackface. And, of course, the most famous and recent, the 2008 film Tropic Thunder, where Robert Downey Jr. played blackface. And again, back then, nobody was offended. But ever since the liberal pathogen swept across the country and caused the woke pandemic, starting around 2015, such things have been deemed hateful and offensive, and every one of these cowards has apologized. Late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel apologizes for use of blackface. Imagine apologizing for some of the most hilarious jokes in history. Jimmy Fallon reflects on his blackface mistake in Tonight Show monologue. That was in 2020, the height of the Black Lives Matter insurrection, when black fragility was also at an all-time high. Then, in order to try to make further amends, the show had him interview Robin DiAngelo, the author of that worthless book, White Fragility, where she said straight to his face that he was a racist, not for doing the blackface skit. I don't think she even knew about that. Just for existing, for being white.
I think white people should remove that phrase from their vocabulary. I'm not racist. It's not, trust me, it's not convincing to black people.
I removed that phrase from my vocabulary many years ago because I don't care if black people with black fragility think that I'm racist, because to them, everything is.
As long as we define racism as individual, intentional acts of meanness, then I would agree with you that most white people are not racist. But when I'm talking about the racism that I have, the racism that you have, it's the result of living in a society in which racism is the foundation. We all absorb it. We all absorb it. There's no way we could exempt ourselves from it. And so we need to change our question from if I'm racist, to which most white people will say no.
I couldn't care less what you think. Again, that's my answer.
To how have I been shaped by the forces of racism I was born into?
Actually, many of us are shaped by the forces of racism, but not in the ways that she thinks. we're shaped by the anti-whiteism, the growing and systemic anti-whiteism, which is why you're finally seeing even the normie mainstream conservative hosts starting to denounce anti-whiteism. Of course, Howard Stern apologized for his blackface skits. I mean, what else would you expect from a loser who literally did a sit-down in-studio interview with Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris during the 2024 presidential election cycle in order to promote them? Dan Aykroyd apologized a few years ago, saying, "I wouldn't choose to do blackface today, 40 years after doing it in Trading Places, nor would I be allowed to do it." Well, that's just part of the problem with America. Part of the snowflakes. We need to make blackface great again. Back in 2020, Hulu, the streaming service, removed the hilarious Golden Girls episode for featuring blackface, which is so hilarious, you have to see it. So in case you haven't, here it is. I think it was Dorothy's son who was dating or engaged to a black woman, and so then her family came over to the house so that the two families could meet. And then this happened.
Mama, baby. Oh, how are you?
I'm fine. How y'all doing?
Hi,
Have you met Dorothy?
No, actually, they haven't.
Get it? They're doing some facials.
You must be Michael's parents. Mama, put your glasses on. Oh, my Lord.
This is mud on our faces. We're not really black.
But sadly today, those with black fragility, not the conservative blacks, obviously. I have many of those in my audience as fans. I'm talking about the other kind, the kind that starts with the letter N. Now, they get upset not only if you wear blackface as a skit, but if a white person wears dreadlocks. Remember this video from, this might have been like 5 or 6 years ago now. This Shaniqua decided to confront this white student at whatever college this was and harass him and threaten him because he had his hair in dreads. But of course, it's not just the N-words. It's also many self-hating, virtue-signaling white liberals who take it upon themselves to try to ruin people's lives like they tried to do to this middle school kid in California after he showed up to a football game wearing war paint on his face. And thankfully, the family did the right thing and sued the school and won. And who could forget Megyn Kelly begging to keep her job on her NBC morning show after she said the normal thing, that it was totally fine for white kids to be able to wear costumes of characters from different cultures. She didn't even say that it was okay for them to wear blackface or brown makeup on their face as part of their costume, which I will say that's totally fine. I wouldn't recommend it because a bunch of psycho lunatics out there will probably attack your children if they do that. But back in the 80s, probably even in the early 90s, that was a normal thing for kids who were wearing certain Halloween costumes. Like if a kid wanted to be Mr. T for Halloween, it would be fine for them to wear blackface. But she still got fired anyway, which inspired me to do this little bit.
Every Halloween, someone ends up rocking a racially insensitive costume. My hair is not a costume.
A lot of people are still wearing these culturally appropriating Halloween costumes. And we're just getting people's opinions on how to stop that.
How to stop it?
Yeah.
I think just letting people know that it's cultural appropriation, like the dreads that you're wearing right now.
It's inappropriate, do you think?
I think it's a little insensitive, yeah.
Do you think it hurts some people's feelings?
Yeah, I think it can be damaging.
I mean, I'm all for hurting people's feelings.
Well, I'm not, but you
not.
have a good day.
I don't care how many white liberals or black people's feelings get hurt. We're making racist jokes great again. I'm Mark Dice. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And if you enjoy watching my videos and you want to get some great merch and support the channel, head on over to my online store at markdice.com or click the link in the description below and order your Liberal Tears mug, the Sorry No Vacancy Deport Them All shirt, which of course some people call racist. The War is a Racket shirt or any of my awesome designs, all available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and tank tops, and women's designs as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.